At long last, Netflix and even Crunchyroll has responded to the leaks that's been taking place for the past 5 days or so at this point, and there's been even more leaks since the last video I made 2 days ago, and I'm not going to go over the entirety of the list, but there has been a lot that's leaked, live action shows included at this point, and it's been just an overall mess. It's probably one of the biggest disasters in leak culture I have ever seen. Like, I have never seen a company have so many leaked series come out back to back like has happened in this past week, ever, since honestly I've been on the internet. I have never seen just so many studios been royally screwed over thanks to Netflix's overall incompetence, but also their partners being incompetent as well. It's taken them a very long time to basically acknowledge and even comment on the situation, but I think thanks to the overall damage that, obviously these leaks have caused, it has basically forced Netflix to actually just really make a statement on the situation, and even Crunchyroll having to make a statement now thanks to the leaks that's happened with ReZero. So let's back up for a second and let's talk about what we know now. So, FYI, if you've been living under a rock, well, a bunch of stuff has leaked out this week. To Ranma, to Dandadan, ReZero, Terminator anime, you get the point. There's been a lot of stuff that's come out that shouldn't have come out, like even Arcane as well. There was this one called Heartstopper, I believe, that's come out. There's a bunch of stuff that's come out, so to speak. I believe there was a few other things that's leaked too, anime-wise, but it's slipping my mind at this current moment. But the point of the matter is that for a while now, it's been a lot of rumors and speculation on what has actually happened, and finally, thanks to Netflix's overall statement, we now know the culprit. So apparently Netflix's post-production partners is responsible for the overall data breach or leak. They have been compromised, and footage has been coming out from several of their titles, and they're aggressively trying to take down this leaked footage. Now, I'm just going to be completely blunt here. There's too many leaks out there now at this point. There's too many sites that have these leaked footage, too many accounts, too many different people around the world that has all this footage downloaded on their PC, that they can easily make burner accounts and repost these, different leaked episodes and movies, etc., on the internet. And so, getting rid of the leaks and taking them down at this point is pretty much impossible. It's not going away. So now the only thing that really Netflix can do is just damage control as much as they can and try to stop this from potentially happening again. So that gets into the point, the post-production partners that Netflix was working with. So apparently the individuals that worked with Netflix is related to this group here. Apparently the group that, Netflix sends their, actual movies to and series to dub and subtitle stuff, they basically were compromised. And they handle these different, companies as well when they're actually working on movies and episodes and stuff. So you can see a lot of different brands were compromised thanks to this leak. It isn't necessarily just Netflix, but a bunch of different, major companies that's in Hollywood, in the West, etc. And so when you look at this post that was made here on 4chan, things start to make you raise your eyebrow a little bit. You start to be like, this is giving a little bit more potential possibility that this statement was true that happened a few days back. So if you throw all this together, most likely, we can only assume that this statement or comment lines up perfectly with the overall compromised post-production studio that was working with Netflix. And here it is, as you can see, Netflix, Paramount, Warner, and among others have been compromised, and the individual, once again, this isn't confirmation that they 100% this is the person's doing it, but if this is led to be true, they have 87,000 files of leaked files from these different studios, which is absolute insanity, just how much content they theoretically could leak out there on the internet. It is so much damage, and this is a very risky play from this individual, even willing to do something like this. As I said, you're not just going to face just regular prison time, you're potentially just going to disappear, because you're playing with a lot of money at this point with all these studios messing with them. So, yeah, but anyways, getting into the point though, it seems like the overall breach was thanks to some form of hack or something, or a compromised employee or something with the post-production studio that worked with Netflix. Now, overall, Crunchyroll's statement on the situation is pretty much more or less the same. It's not necessarily related to this leaker that's apparently doing stuff like this, but basically, Crunchyroll acknowledges that, yes, there was a leak to their footage, most likely affiliated with the French convention that was canceled, I believe, a few weeks back, and thanks to that, somehow the episode got out. So they're investigating, trying to figure out how this happened, and obviously, whoever did this is probably they're going away as well. Now, here's the thing. The damage has been done. There's no kind of closing Pandora's box at this point, but it is interesting kind of finding out the overall result and how this situation can get a lot worse, because if we're led to believe that someone really did have access to a studio that was a part of the post-production that is technically affiliated with not just Netflix, but like Paramount, Warner, etc., oh my goodness, how much stuff they potentially could be leaked. According to some of the stuff that's came out since, I don't know if this is true, this is rumors I've heard, Sakamoto Days almost was leaked as well. But thanks to it not being finished and it still being cooked up as well, you know, Sakamoto wasn't actually any information or any episodes, etc. wasn't given out, even early leaked footage or whatever. So it kind of got saved very easily, or it would potentially have already been leaked out as well. But, yeah, this news story honestly just keeps developing and getting even crazier and crazier. I'm curious to see what the end result is. Like, I mean, I wonder if there's going to be any other big titles that's going to be pushed out, or if we've already seen the bigger titles that's already been released at this point. We'll have to see. But I wanted to keep everybody up in the know, let everybody know kind of what's going on, that, you know, Netflix finally responded, so did Crunchyroll, to the entire situation. Even if it isn't necessarily a big response, they basically do point the fingers at kind of what has happened, and they kind of shift the blame a little bit away from themselves. But even still, if I was Netflix at this point and these other companies that's affiliated with this, you know, studio that's doing this post-production, I probably wouldn't work with them anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I probably would just cut ties with them at this point, because like I said, the damage that's been done now to all these companies is really high. And look, I understand, you know, people might not like these companies. That's completely fine. Don't try to protect companies. You know, they're evil. They're out for profit and money. But it doesn't change the fact that a lot of people's jobs are at risk as well, thanks to a lot of the money loss that's happened at this point. And because of just the damage that's been caused, you know, Netflix and all these other companies probably should look at this post-production studio and be like, I'm cutting you out. We don't want you anymore, and they'll look elsewhere for someone to work with. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. May you all have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.